Hello, this is David Dean, and life is good. They updated the event store again. They updated it last night with some great new weapons and stuff I'll be talking about, but this morning they finally realized that just having 5 items over in the event side was wrong. And there's my phone. Telemarketer. But they went in here and put all these additional things in here, which I will go over, which is great because they are currently doing the Cram event. And the biggest thing from the Cram event is you are getting tons of seasonal gold. I had to waste seasonal gold. I even bought some armory slots just to burn some off so that I wasn't having some going to waste because I was getting so much for missions. And there is also the safe cracking quests that you can do up to stage 10, with the final one giving you 1,500 gold. And that is on top of missions that are currently giving you double gold as reward. And it has to be one with a mini boss. And as you can see, you get 190 gold on top of normal. But for the store, not that store, the store, just showing you what they got here. Megabase Kyle has been in there for a while. He is an absolute great constructor. Definitely one of the top ones with a huge base build. And he has electric floors, so he's also doing some damage. I don't think he's as good as the event constructor HeavyBase for big builds, or for small builds the machinist, but still a top tier one. And then this is the biggest one to me, because it doesn't matter if you get the greatest weapon you want in the game if the perks are horrible. And so I never have enough of the RePerks to make the weapons the way I wanted them. So now you can get, if my math is correct, 6,000 RePerks. So that's definitely where my seasonal gold is going to go to first. And then on top of that, legendary Perk-Ups. Actually, later in game when you get to TWINE Peak, legendary Perk-Ups aren't the big thing. It's epic Perk-Ups that I have found. So definitely going to be grabbing all of these in there, plus giving you some more uncommon and rares, which you already had in the weekly store. And then the other resource items you need for leveling stuff up. I am always running low on drops of rain, so we'll be grabbing that. And then, as we said, armory slots, not worried about it. The Copper Space Invader pistol, it's a cool, fun pistol, but nah, it really does not keep up with other weapons in the game. It does, I believe, pierce, rapidly fires lasers that bounce off walls. So it doesn't pierce, but they do bounce around, mainly inside trap tunnels, which is a cool look. But as I said, there's other weapons out there that do a lot more damage. Speaking of which, the Tigerjaw for shotguns. This is a machine gun shotgun weapon. It is great at very close range. We're talking about 3 tiles out. That's about as far as you really want to be going off on something. But yeah, taking down a smasher at close range, this is one of the best weapons in the game. Absolutely love this weapon. Controller Harper was a really great Harper until they nerfed the decoy, and getting a bunch of different inconsistent reports about what the decoy is doing right now, but it definitely is not working the way it was originally intended to, and she kind of focuses on decoy, so I would skip on her right now. Wall lights are a decent trap. They don't do any damage, but they do stun a target for a little while. I usually don't level mine up because either on a wall I am putting a launcher to knock us back, or I am putting up a dynamo, which does great damage and can stun a target also. It's just my preference in traps. And then the Bruiser. The one thing about this, I like using the Bruiser when I use defenders. And in truth, the only time I do it is in Storm Shields 8, 9, and 10, when you're allowed to have 8 defenders at once. And then I use the Bruiser basically as bait for the Huss to attack, because his health is much higher and his resistance. His resistance is much higher than the other defenders. But to me, he's one of the last options to spend gold on. Legendary Survivor, always grab that. As you can see, I've already grabbed it out of the store. That is everything new from this morning. I also, just because there are some amazing stuff in the weekly items, I've done videos on them, and they'll be down in the description box. The Obliterator, this thing has multiple functions, which is very rare for a weapon. You can use it straight out as a sniper rifle. Personally, I don't like it that much as a sniper rifle to use on my main hero. It does massive damage, massive impact, but it also has a huge kick to it. So you constantly got to be spending time re-aiming, which when I'm soloing, I really don't have that much time for. But this can also be the #1 pickaxe in the game. If I need to clear out a building or whatever around an objective, I just open up with my Obliterator and clear out all the walls, all the floors, much faster than the pickaxe. And it can save you a ton of time. The one thing people love it the most for, though, is defenders. On your hero, you can set up mission defenders, which you can take in a mission with you. This causes a little bit confusion. On standard missions, if you have 4 people in there, you can't put down a defender. If you have 3 people in there, you can put down 1 defender. And if you're going into the mega missions, then yes, people can put down their defenders. I solo all the time, which allows me to place down all 3 sniper defenders if I want to. Why does all this matter with the Obliterator, or what's the big difference, is that the Obliterator can shoot through player-made walls and terrain. So if you're on the downside of a hill, you can put your sniper defender in a metal box so he's protected from range attackers, and that defender can still detect the husk outside and shoot through your metal walls and shoot through even a cliff edge or whatever to be taking out the husk. And once again, I got a video on it. I ran a storm shield defense using this, and yeah, I took them, had no problem soloing the mission, so definitely check that out. And then just rolling down here, Legendary Flux. If you have a weapon you need to take up from Epic to Legendary or a hero, great thing to have. I usually keep 100 in reserve, and right now I don't need any more. Power-based Nox is another great constructor. For big base builds, these 2 constructors build their constructor base goes out the furthest, 7 tiles. Once again, got a video on that. I'll put it in the description box. Both of these are the 2 that go out 7 tiles. No other constructors do that besides Megabase and Powerbase. Megabase has the electric floors, allowing him to do extra damage to the husk coming in. Powerbase has nothing that does damage to the husk except when they beat on his walls, they take additional damage. And he has the recycling, so he can run up to his base and collect materials over a time. And he gets a lot back. If I'm running low on materials and running missions, Power-Based Nox is a great way to get caught up on materials. Which one is better? If this one's epic, I wouldn't go with it. I would grab the legendary. And in true, it's off by like a 0.5%. Megabase just very minor better, but Power-Base is still an awesome constructor for big builds. Moving down here, the Defender Sniper. I already talked about how great the Defender is. It's great that they got the Sniper in here at the same time as the Obliterator Sniper Rifle. And if you don't have legendary ones or epics, definitely grab a couple of these guys. And they will make soloing and missions so much easier. And once again, more materials. And not worried about Assassin Sarah. She's an okay ninja, but not at that level. And Tiny Instrument of Death is a really strange, fun weapon that I would not spend anything on. Although it's coins and everybody has tons of coins. The missile, once you shoot it, as you change your direction as where you are looking, the missile changes directions to correspond, making it basically a guided missile. But it is very hard to use in combat correctly, and it's more of a gimmick weapon than actually a really good one. Wall spikes. Yes! Yeah, nobody uses wall spikes. At least I don't, and highly don't recommend them. The lead sled is an amazing hammer. This thing, I definitely like it better than the pulverer or the pulverizer or any other hammer out there as far as for the Constructor with that kinetic overload. The hammer itself does not deal that much damage, but you don't care because your kinetic overload, like I checked my video, and the kinetic overload on Constructors goes off every time you get a crit hit. On my Constructor, I have it set up, and on this weapon where my crit chance is 55%, and when I would hit and get a crit, it would do 4 times as much damage than the damage of the hammer. Plus, it does it in an area effect all the way around if you're using Sid, the Constructor. So the main focus is not the damage of the hammer, it's how fast you can attack with it and how often that crit chance is going off. And this thing is just awesome. I loved it. Once again, check for the video down below. Survivor, I always grab the epic and legendary survivors. Drops of Rain, already mentioned, and then the RePerks. So there you go. That's the update to the store. I am very happy to see the RePerks in there. I am glad they finally filled this out a little bit. Even if don't want everything in here. If you love shotguns, Tigerjaw is a beast. So definitely recommend that one for you. All right, take care. Have an amazing day. Definitely give me your feedback and comments. I really love everything you got to say. So take care and have a great one.